All right, welcome back. Max Torno here. In this video, I want to talk about the safest way to generate income in times like these, now in 2020 right now, as well as 2021 and beyond. And the reason why I wanted to shoot this video is the following. A lot of people feel very insecure right now. They feel very worried about the situation, the politics, and the markets, and the economy, and everything. And I get that. I totally understand that. So I literally just pull out my phone, and I'm going to guide you through what exact steps you can do in order to generate a safe income. If you want to have security, if you want to have safety of your income, then pay attention now because this video is for you. And what we're going to do is something very interesting. Number one, I'm going to share the mindset that you need, all right? So everything starts up there in your mind, right? Number two, I'm going to give you the most important understandings that you need to understand in order to get started. And number three, I'm gonna give you executionable steps you can literally execute upon right after this video. So if you like the idea of having a secure and safe income, if you like the idea of not having to worry about money or not having to worry about having to get fired or anything, then this video is for you. Let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
All right, let us start off by talking about mindset. What you gotta understand with mindset is, number one, you have to stop your victim mentality, okay? It's very unfortunate that there's been a quarantine. It is very, very unfortunate that the economy is suffering from that. It is very unfortunate that all these big corporations have to let go of their staff and that a ton of people have lost their jobs and will continue to lose their job. It's very unfortunate that right now there's riots and political upheaval and whatnot. All these things are very unfortunate. And trust me, we all feel the repercussions of that. But now being a victim is definitely not something that is going to get you anywhere. All right? And I always put it this way, and this is something that I really love about business. The market doesn't care where you're from, doesn't care what your name is, doesn't care how old you are. If you put in the right work and if you're working smart, you can still make things happen. The problem is that most people, they're so bummed out, they're so caught in the victim mentality that it keeps them from taking action. And I'm going to give you an example here to really clarify that. If your mindset is, everybody's out to get me, everything is difficult, poor me, what are you going to do? What are you subconsciously or even consciously trying to do? Well, you're trying to confirm that mindset. You're trying to confirm that reality. So you will continuously sabotage yourself to make that reality come true. All right? I'm sweating a lot. Right? Now I could be all victim about it. It's like, can't even shoot a video because the AC doesn't work today. Poor me, poor me. What am I going to do if I say poor me, poor me? I go on the internet. I complain. I spam hate comments to other people, whatnot, right? Does any of these things bring me further in life? No. So you got to stop the victim mentality and you got to start saying, what's the opportunity here? What can I do? What actions can I take? All right, I'm going to give you another very, very short and great example. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, say, how can I afford that? Because what happens when you say, I can't afford that? You throwing the hands in the air, can't afford that, give up, poor me. But if you change that to say, how can I afford it? You're putting yourself in a position of empowerment, of power. Now you can say, okay, how can I afford it? Step one, step two, step three. Next question, how can I start with step one, and so on and so forth. So you can literally see how much empowerment is there when you stop with the victim mentality, all right? Which brings you to step number two when it comes to mindset, and that is start taking responsibility. Please understand that if your life is dependent on the government bailing you out, right? Or the big corporations taking care of you, or even worse, mommy and daddy taking care of you, then you're failing at life. Then you are a child. You have to start taking responsibility. All right. Now, if you have parents that support you, that's amazing. I love my parents for just literally for the fact that they supported me on all my dumb ideas and that they didn't try to stop me when I said I wanted to build my own business. Love them to death for that. Will forever be grateful. But at the same time, you don't want to be dependent on that. You don't want to rely on the government. What you got to understand is the government doesn't have your best in their interest. All right? They don't have your best interest in mind. All right? Neither do big corporations. The world is tough. But at the same time, If you are willing to work on yourself, it can be fair. If you find a way to generate value for other people, then you can also generate income. And we'll talk more about this later. But first, you got to understand that you have to start taking responsibility for your life. All right? Maybe there's things that are happening to you that are outside of your control, right? Virus, out of your control. Quarantine, out of your control. But the way you react to these things are absolutely in your control, right? Victim mentality or empowerment. Throwing the hands in the air, giving up, or taking responsibility. So you get where I'm kind of trying to get at, right? Last thing about mindset is the following trifecta. You might have heard me talk about these things before, and that is number 1, positivity. Number 2, opportunity. Number 3, responsibility. All right? And it kind of goes along with what I've just said about mindset. Number 1, positivity. Don't be negative. Don't fall into victim mentality. Understand that if you remain cool, if you remain positive about your life, you're putting yourself in a position of empowerment. Also, if you see the opportunity in things, if you continuously ask yourself, okay, situation might be bad, but where is the opportunity? Where are some advantages that I might gain for me, for my family, for my community, for the world? Ask yourself the questions, where are those opportunities? And last but not least, I mentioned before, responsibility. The responsibility to take care of yourself first. And then to take that idea of responsibility even further, to say, now that I'm taking care of myself, I want to extend my hand out. I want to help others. I want to support my family. I want to support my family, my parents for being always there for me. Maybe my children. I want to have them have a good life. Maybe my partners. Again, my community. You can literally widen your circle of responsibility as soon as you're taking responsibility of yourself. And that is the holy trifecta when it comes to mindset. Now, the next step is understanding of certain key points that will help you get closer to the idea of generating a secure income. And that is what we're going to talk about now. All right. And the first thing that you need to understand is being your own boss is actually much safer than having a job. And this is something that people are waking up to more and more gradually. And I think, the last couple of months, the first half of 2020 has really shown that. And what you got to understand is if you're an employee for a big corporation, your job is in fact not as safe as you thought. All it takes is a crisis, you could be laid off, right? So people who have a job are in fact very expendable for these big corporations, and you can't even blame the big corporations if they got to lock down, if they got to shut down, they just can't pay their employees and they have to let go of them. At the same time, you have the whole idea of AI and automation advancing more and more. So more and more companies don't need to hire people anymore because machines, AIs, algorithms, and so on and so forth can do their job for, quite frankly, much cheaper. And that leaves the question, what to do then? What to do if jobs are not safe anymore? Well, the answer is simple: become your own boss. It doesn't really take a rocket scientist to understand if you are your own boss, you can't get fired. In fact, you can stay in control, and that's a very nice thing to have. So if a crisis hits, for example, you can adjust your marketing with your small business, right? You can adjust your sales strategy. You can get a mentor. I mean, most of our clients that have started from scratch, all right, our beginner clients that were bringing to their first $10,000 a month with their small own business, they didn't have an issue with the crisis because we instantly helped them. We adjusted their mindset, we adjusted their marketing and their positioning, and it really is that simple. So if you are your own boss, you can stay in control. Which brings me to the second point, and that second point is online is the future. All right, now I'm not some crazy motivational speaker. Online is the future, everybody. But if you look at the science, if you have an online business, you don't need to worry about any quarantine. Again, I can give you the example of our clients here. They have in fact made more money in the quarantine than before because they have been doing everything online. So if you have an expertise or something that you can consult people in, or some service that you can give online, then you're very, very safe of any outside influences. As long as there's electricity and internet, you will have no issues, right? And this is another big awakening that is happening nowadays with a lot of people. They are awakening to the idea of getting services, getting consulting, getting mentoring online. Again, the crisis has really showed that because, there was, best example is, for example, fitness, all right? There was a lot of people who had personal trainers in the beginning, And then the quarantine came, gyms have closed, and they said, well, okay, I still want to stay in shape, so let me get an online mentor for that. If you actually look at the online coaching and consulting market, in some countries it's literally doubling every single year, and it is estimated to grow up to 2 billion over the next couple months and years to come. So if you're positioning yourself in an online market as a consultant, as an online coach, as some sort of service provider, you literally take all the automatic growth alongside with you, right? But obviously if you do it early enough only, right? So that is the point about jobs being not safe anymore and online being the future. All right, the other thing that you need to understand is that you don't have to have a lot of business experience in order to make your first $10,000 a month, okay? I'm speaking out of our own experience here from helping a couple hundred clients now to their first 4 to 5 figures a month, to their first $10,000 a month. It is absolutely unnecessary to have, a business degree or some sort of certificate in order to get started nowadays. Now, we've even had some people that we've scaled from 0 to their first 6 figures a month. It's possible, okay? Now, obviously, if you want to become the next Jeff Bezos, if you want to become a billionaire, then maybe you need to have a little bit more of prior business experience. But in order to build your own small business that can generate your first 10K a month and even scale it up to 100K a month, you don't need to have any prior business experience, and you do not need to have any certificate. All you need to do is know the right things to execute. Ideally have a mentor that can keep you accountable, that can give you feedback, and so on and so forth, and you can get started. And again, I'm not making this up. I'm literally seeing it with our clients that we're helping literally from 0. Maybe we can show some testimonials, maybe we can edit some in here. And the other thing that you have to realize is the following. There is absolutely no need for a big brand, a big YouTube channel or social media, Instagram, whatnot. Now, these things are nice to have, but again, they're not absolutely not necessary to get to your first 10K. I feel like nowadays, in a world full of YouTube brands and social media and interesting marketing gadgets and funnels and webinars, so many people literally think like that's what they need in order to build a big business. But in all honesty, let me ask you the following question. How did people 30 years ago build businesses? They didn't have no social media. They didn't have no crazy marketing funnel or Facebook ads or whatnot. It's again, like, maybe if you want to scale up to 6 figures a month, okay, then we can talk about building a small niche brand. But again, in order to make your first 10K a month, which is nice to have, 10K a month income is pretty nice to have, then you do not need to have any big social media. I mean, again, and I'm not just making this up, I'm speaking out of our own experience. Virtually all of our $10,000 plus a month clients are completely unknown. They don't even have a website, all right? They don't have a big social media account. They don't have YouTube whatsoever, right? Beyond that, we have obviously some advanced clients that we're currently helping with building a small niche brand, but even there we're talking about 1,000 Instagram followers, a tiny little bit of a YouTube channel. But again, in order to make your first 10K a month, these things are absolutely unnecessary. In fact, they're a big distraction. I get a lot of people saying, they want to build a brand first, they got to build a brand and whatnot, and they end up building their brand for months without ever making a single dime from that and just wasting a lot of time and doing everything wrong to get started, right? But if you want to get started the right way, forget about social media. Absolutely not necessary. All right, back inside. Finally, no more heat. Summer's here. That's actually a good thing. So let's get to the execution part. What exact steps do you need to execute in order to actually build that income? Let's get to that. Number one, and this is an exercise that you can literally do right now. Ask yourself, what skills do you have, or what obstacles have you overcome in your life that could help others, that others might seek right now, right? For example for skills. Maybe you know a lot about nutrition. Maybe you know a lot about doing exercises at the gym, about staying fit, right? Maybe you have a skill in a certain sport. Maybe you have a skill in a certain e-sport, right? Maybe you have a skill acquired at your 9-to-5 job, right? Maybe you know management, team management. Maybe you're really confident at something. Maybe you know a lot about personal development. Maybe you know a lot about spirituality. Maybe you're really good at sales because you've been working as a sales trainer and so on and so forth. Ask yourself what type of skills you have. If you can't find the answer, ask yourself the following. What type of obstacle were you forced to overcome in your life, right? Maybe you were forced to overcome a bad breakup. Maybe you used to be very lonely and shy and you found your dream partner, right? Another good example is maybe you've lost a lot of weight. You were overweight. Maybe you've gained a lot of weight, right? Maybe you were too skinny and then you've learned to gain a lot of muscle mass. Maybe you've brought up children very well, right? Maybe you found your dream partner, and so on and so forth. There's so many examples that I've also given for other examples here on this channel where we're interviewing our clients who've made it and so on and so forth, but you kind of get where I'm trying to get to. And interestingly enough, a lot of people come to us thinking they have no skill, and then we analyze their strengths, right? They book a free consulting call with us, for example. I'll put a link in the description, you can check that out as well. And we analyze their strengths, and it turns out that they have a very lucrative strength, right? A strength that they weren't even aware of, something that they've taken for granted. But other people are now struggling with that, and they could actually use some expertise in that. And don't worry if you don't have 20 years of experience in that or 10 years. Don't worry if there's others that are already doing that. Maybe they're doing this for free or cheaper or with free YouTube videos and so on and so forth. There's always a need for people to pay for that, to get a mentor. Maybe some people say, I don't want to learn it for free. I don't believe it if it's for free. Maybe they actually want to pay for that. So don't worry about that. If there's others doing that already, there's plenty of room for everybody, right? Next point here is ask yourself, and this is again something that you could execute right away, who are the people that I could help with that, and where are they? All right? Are they in certain Facebook groups? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they using certain hashtags, right? Maybe on Instagram or whatever. Are they in certain internet forums? Are they in my network? Are they at certain real life events, right? Maybe there's gatherings, maybe there's group meetings of these people, and so on and so forth. And crazy thing is, again, you don't need to have a big social media. There's oftentimes Facebook groups where a lot of the people that could use your help are. And oftentimes you can find people over LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. I mean, we've seen it literally with hundreds of our clients. They don't have any big social media. They just know how to find people that they can help literally on the internet. And that leads us to executionable step number 3, and that is learn how to give value to these people and learn how to sell. Because all you got to do, once you know what your strength is, once you know where these people are to be found online or offline, all you got to do then is reach out to them, give them some value, and know how to sell to them. And that is literally how you can generate your first test clients, right? If you're not super confident about it yet, you say, hey, I want to get test clients first. That's literally how you can get your first test clients. This is literally how you can get your first 4 figures a month. It's literally how you can get to your first 10,000, 5 figures a month. It's possible. Again, we've seen it so many times over and over again with our beginner clients. And no, you do not need to have a certificate. You do not need to have any prior business experience. We can actually equip our clients, our business, our beginner business clients. We equip them just with a step-by-step a pathway that they can follow. And you do not need to have a big brand either. It's absolutely possible to do that. So I hope you understand. Now, we've talked a lot. This video was a little longer, was a little ranty, but I just wanted to share this with you here. I literally just took out my phone and, walked around to share this knowledge with you here. So I hope you understand now that your mindset is important, to get out of that victim mentality, to understand that it is your responsibility, and to really stay positive and see the opportunity in times like these. I think also it's important for you to understand that jobs are not safe anymore, that by all means, the safest way to generate income is having your own business. It's also important for you to understand that online is the future, that people are waking up about that, about getting their expertise, getting help, getting services online as opposed to offline. And please also understand that there's executionable steps that you can take in order to find out what your strengths are, find out who you can help with that, and find out how exactly you can give value and sell. It really is that simple. So when you say this sounds great, I want to get started, you can literally right now book a free consulting call either with me directly or with an expert from our team. I mentioned it before. I put a link down in the description below. A link is entirely for free. The call is entirely for free. All you have to do is you click that link. Link brings you to a page. You can read through the page. There's a little bit more information for you to get started. And then at the bottom of that page, you fill out the application. It takes you maybe 2 minutes to fill that out. And then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. Now, what do we do on that free consulting call? On the free consulting call, we'll basically be looking at your situation, all right? We'll be looking at your goals. We'll be looking at your skills, your strengths. And we can tell you what exact steps that you can take in your specific situation in order to get started with your own small business as an online coach or as an online service provider. Like I've said, we've done this for hundreds of clients before, and the consulting call is entirely for free. There's no hidden international costs whatsoever. Again, all you have to do is fill out the 2-minute application, right? And then we can get you started. So if you already have a skill, you already know what it is that you could be offering people, you want to learn how to monetize it, that call is for you. If you're even making some money with that already, but you want to do it more consistently, more professionally, you want to scale it, that call is for you. But like I said, even if you're not sure what it is that you could be offering people, we can analyze your strengths on that call. We'll be telling you what model fits well for you, what your options are, and so on and so forth. It's very, very simple. So link down in the description below, or link that appears somewhere here right now. Go ahead and book that call now. Now is a good time. You probably have your phone in your hands anyways. So talk to you very, very soon. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
I've been in the program for roughly about 8 weeks now, and I've already managed to get 3 paying clients and have closed 3.5K worth of business in my first, within my first month of actually selling. Really excited for what's to come, and just want to say really grateful to Max and all the coaches, Robert, Ian, Dario. You guys have been big inspiration, big help for me, and appreciate you guys. And yeah, it's not too good to be true. Execute and you can make it happen. So GG.